Otebele, glad to have you join us on enlightening this morning. Your name sounds good. You must be a powerful man. Otebele. I
Hello, good
like
morning.
that. All
Good
right.
morning.
So give us a better understanding what digital marketing is all about for us to start with. I like starting from the rudimentary for people to understand what we're talking about. So you are an expert in that business. Talk to us what digital marketing is all about for our viewers to understand better.
Okay, so good morning, guys. Digital marketing is all about marketing digitally, right? So we have marketing outside the online space, which is more of like retail marketing. We call it offline marketing. So digital marketing deals with marketing online, taking your products, taking your services, taking your offerings online, and getting people online to purchase from you, know about you, and engage you. So at a very high level, that's what digital marketing is.
Okay, so what are the skills that are needed for digital marketing?
Digital marketing is a very broad field, really broad. So when I started learning, that was 2019, I learned SEO, I learned copywriting, I learned email marketing, I learned Facebook advertising, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, I learned SEO, I learned a ton of things. Like I could count up to 10, 11 skills at that time, which I learned. And it's more than that, actually. There's a whole, it's like a broad spectrum of skills. And with innovations online, more skills are coming out daily. Like recently, AI is the buzzword everywhere. Recently, we have the ChatGPTs of the world, and we have all manner of stuff. And these are creating new markets and new careers when it comes to digital marketing. So it's really broad. It's really, really broad.
All right. I must confess I like what I'm seeing. You're really prepared for this interview, which is a sign to show you're an expert. Now, I would like you to talk about some of the, opportunities in digital marketing. For every business you do, there are gains, there are, merits. Maybe we'll leave the disadvantages for another discussion, but let's talk about the potential when it comes to digital marketing. What do you stand to gain as a digital marketer?
Okay. Okay. So first of all, one of the top gains. Now, I will speak as a Nigerian who stays in Nigeria, right? I won't speak for the whole world. I will speak from my perspective. One of the top gains of learning a digital marketing skill is that it offers you the opportunity to work remotely online. Now, I'm very sure that you are aware of this statement that the world is a global village, right? And the internet makes it accessible. Online, they will say, hey, Twitter is a leveler, Facebook is a level, and that's very true. When you are able to learn a marketing skill digitally, you have the opportunities to work remotely with brands and businesses that are not in your location. Do you understand me now? For instance, now I have friends who work for business in the USA. I work for a business in the UK. My previous company was in the USA, right? I've had mentors in Mexico. I have a mentor in Romania. So it opens, digital marketing literally makes the world a literal global village. It gives you access to people, to places you wouldn't have been able to meet previously. So like I said, I'm answering from my perspective. Yeah,
So talk to us about the trends in the digital marketing space over the time that you've been practicing. What new changes have you seen, and how does it affect you as a digital marketer? Did you need to go for a training? How are you able to adapt to it and begin to monetize the new trend?
Okay, so a characteristic of a digital marketer that's going to last in the business is you must be open to learning. Because if you are not open to learning, and if you are not key on looking out for the new trends, especially in your niche, if you are a niche marketer, then just get ready to be out of business. So when I started in 2019, the trends then, there was a lot of focus on SEO, which is search engine optimization. mostly, write your blogs, your articles, and expect to rank and drive traffic. Then at that time too, Facebook advertising was pretty easy because I used to run ads for businesses then in Lagos and some other people across Nigeria at that time. And then over the years, big companies like Apple, Facebook, they've modified their algorithms, they've modified their robots, they've modified their systems. And now, when I was running ads at that time, it's not as easy as running ads now. It's now tighter. Now, people don't trust search results as much as they used to at 2019 now. Now, folks and businesses prefer to get their information on social media and niche forums because the idea is at that time, SEO, it was experts who were writing content and putting out their ideas. Now, it's anybody can write content. Thanks to AI, everybody can become a content writer, actually. But then the quality of the content is garbage, except you know what you're doing. So the trends have come. Now, then it was easy. Now it's more difficult. More innovation has come, and now you have to adapt. And that's also very key. Like I said in my previous point, I said, you can work for remote businesses. And many remote businesses, what they do is when they employ you, they give you a learning budget because they know that trends come and go. So with that learning budget, you are open to taking courses, going for boot camps, and staying on top of trends. So these are some of the few stuff I've seen. Also, within the same period, there's something called UGC, user-generated content, which is as a user of a product or a service, I give a review. It could be a video review, it could be a text testimonial or something like that, just to bolster the trust and the reviews of the business. That is also a trend that has come in and it is slowly fading away in some niches, but it's still standing strong. Another trend that I'm seeing, especially for e-commerce overseas, is micro influencers. That is getting people who already have an audience in a certain niche to talk about your brand, and then you get some of their audience to try you out. So there's a lot of trends I've seen come and go and stuff like that.
Now let's look at the training needed for one to be a digital marketer. Talk to us how expensive it is to acquire this training. What are the formal or the informal, methods to be deployed in order for you to be, to keep abreast with the development in that niche?
Okay, so when I started, I schooled at Digital Marketing Skill Institute in Lagos, the office based in Ikoyi at that time. The training was, I think, 100,000 to 150. I can't really recall now at that time. And I had to leave Delta State, where I'm based, to go to Lagos and stay for a month, 2 months to acquire the training. So there are such schools all over Nigeria that promise you that they can train you, but you have to do your research. But now I'm done with that training. I'm now actively practicing digital marketing, and I know better. Is there a place for formal training? Yes, there is. But then, if you know where to look, if you know who to interact with, you could also get trainings free of charge of that same quality. I'm not trying to talk against businesses or folks who do trainings. I'm just saying that if you know where to look, like now, for instance, YouTube is a massive resource when it comes to digital marketing skills. It's a massive resource, right? You can get specific digital marketing skills courses for very cheap on platforms like Udemy, for instance, right? And then the other process too is you could get mentors. I had a mentor. I've had several mentors. I remember one time, that was 2021, yeah, on LinkedIn. I made a post. I was making posts on LinkedIn, just trying to build my network, build my reach, my influence on a particular copywriting group. And then someone reached out to me, and then she became my mentor. And she's a pivotal part of my career when it comes to my copywriting skill as a digital marketer. So now what I gained, what I've gleaned from her, I can't get it from a course because there's no personal relationship there. So there are different roads into digital marketing. You pay for the course, if you know where to look, you get it for free. If you have access to mentors, that's another viable way to get into digital marketing.
Now, digital marketing is something that is the in thing right now, and you have a lot of persons go into it. How do you distinguish yourself as a digital marketer from all other marketers that you begin to attract clients to you?
Okay, so if you listened earlier, I dropped a hint, something about niche-specific marketing and general marketers. Now, when I started that, I was a generalist, but currently I'm a niche marketer. I have niched down into content marketing. So as a content marketer, I have distinguished myself from other marketers because we have media buyers, they are marketers. Those are the guys that help you run ads, right? We have email marketers, they just focus specifically on writing emails, handling your email system, and helping you monitor your success there, right? We have technical writers. We have Google specialists. We have UI UX guys. So we have YouTube specialists. They help you grow and start your YouTube channel. We even have community specialists. They help you grow a community for your brand, maintain it, and create interactions there. We have podcast specialists. They help you start your podcast. They help you grow your podcast and make it relevant. So if you niche down, one of the fastest ways to niche down and attract clients, is to niche down. So instead of being a general marketer that does everything, you become a specific marketer that does only one thing. You are known for that, and so you attract the right kind of clients. Now, and then you can serve them better. But then if you are a general marketer, you could also do some good work, but you won't be able to go deep into a skill and provide all that the client might need, depending on the issues that come up or not. Yeah.
Is there a downside to being a niche marketer? What if you don't get demand or your niche is not highly demanded for?
The thing is, the downside to being a niche marketer is that maybe in the early days, nobody knows about you yet. Because when you niche down, you are going to compete with the big boys. Folks who have niched down 4 years earlier, 5 years earlier. Do you understand? So when you niche down, those are your competition. Nobody knows about you, so you have to prove yourself. And that's why you have to understand that even as a marketer, you have to learn to market yourself. That you study digital marketing doesn't mean that leads and clients and customers will come to you on a platter of gold. You have to learn to market yourself. So the only downside is initially, nobody knows about you, so you have to fight from the ground up. But then if you've learned how to market yourself, then that should not be a problem for too long. Then you start getting traffic, getting leads, qualifying them, and signing clients. About the fact that maybe your niche isn't profitable, I don't think no niche isn't profitable. Every niche is profitable. You just have to know how to differentiate yourself to attract the whales, the guys who can spend the amount of money that will keep you afloat in the business. So, yeah.
So let me put this to you, because someone out there is wondering, how do I make money? You know, and I'm repeating this question because I want you to be practical about it. How do you make money from digital marketing? From your experience, I want you to give us tips and be practical about it.
Okay, so off the top of my head, we could make money as a marketer being employed in-house for a brand, number one. Number two, we could be a freelancer, work for several businesses at the same time. Number three, we could be a consultant. Now, a consultant isn't necessarily a freelancer. A consultant is someone mostly who has worked in-house for years, built up skill, built up name, built up a brand, and so it's easy for you to get your foot in the door with other businesses, right? And then there's something called fractional services. Now, that is an advanced form of freelancing. Now, at the lowest rung of this discussion are just freelancers. I just started learning marketing. I'm looking for quick cash, so I sign up on Upwork and other freelance platforms looking for those who need my services. You get paid $10, $15, $20. It depends on your skill level and how you market yourself. Then in-house, you get paid higher, depending on your year of experience and your portfolio. Now, when you step up from being in-house and you start working as a consultant, obviously you command higher fees and you can work with more clients. But then you can't just be a consultant. You have to have proven yourself over the years, working across several brands in-house, or as a freelancer, but several years of experience and proof, which is your portfolio. Now, fractional services, that is a step, in my opinion, above being a consultant. And that is where and to be to offer fractional services, you need to be a niche expert, because I rarely find fractional services except they are niche experts. Okay, fractional CMO, fractional financial advisor, CEOs and stuff like that. You need to have spent years, and many times to be able to offer fractional services. Maybe, let's say you have started that particular service you are offering across several businesses from the ground up, built up teams, headed teams, increased growth over a year with proofs to show. And I have people like that who are friends and connections on LinkedIn who have over the years worked in billion-dollar brands, gotten them sold, made a ton of money for the businesses. So right now, all they do is offer fractional services. So people on LinkedIn, you will see their bio, they'll be like giving over $100 million in sales and stuff like that. You will see works across 20 brands in this sector, in this niche. Now, those guys are the ones that can work as or offer fractional services. Like I said, at the lowest rung, I would say freelancers. Next, followed by working in-house, practically get paid monthly. And then we have the consultants, and then we have fractional services. So these are like 4 ways you can make money as a marketer. Another aspect of it is you could sell courses, right? Okay, I've worked for 10 years, 20 years, 15 years. I've made a ton of money for myself, for my businesses. Now I want to show you how to do that practically from ground up. And so I do a course showing you my experience, my proof, and how you can set yourself up. That is another way you can make money, but then I don't recommend anybody do that except they have proven themselves over the years. Yeah.
Let's talk about the career path for digital marketing. Is this something that one can do solo as an entrepreneur, or you need to affiliate with an organization?
So this question is closely related to the former one I just answered, the career path, right? So you could start as a freelancer. And then if you're a freelancer, you are not tied to any organization, you're just being solo, right? So you're offering your services to anybody who can pay for it. And then your competition is fellow freelancers many times. So, and then there's the other part whereby you can say, I want to start in-house and just work for a brand. And when it comes to in-house marketing, there are 2 types. We have brand in-house marketing and we have agency in-house marketing. Now, brand in-house marketing is you are working specifically for a brand that offers a particular service. So all your marketing is built around that service. Now, but you're working for an agency. Now, an agency offers its service to several clients. So you could have clients across several verticals, maybe in the SaaS industry, in the e-commerce industry, in the pets industry, in the clothing industry. So if you're working in-house, in the agency model, then your experience will be built across the several clients that agency has. But if you're working in-house for a brand, your specialty will just be tied to just the service that brand offers. And then, like I said, the freelancing model is just you are going solo. You are not affiliated to any brand. You are working for whoever will have you work for them. Yep.
Now let's look at visibility. For you to be a good digital marketer, you must have that visibility. Talk to us, how can a startup build brand and online presence and then followership?
Okay, how can a startup build online presence and followership, right?
Yes.
Okay, so nobody knows about you. What do you do? Now, one of the methods that I observed over the years that works is the David and Goliath scenario, right? So we all know that story. Goliath is the field marshal. Since he was a youth, he has been fighting battles for years, and then everybody knows him. He's pretty popular. So now, no matter the niche a startup is in, there are always Goliaths there. Guys and folks and businesses who have been there for years. And then you, the startup, should take the David stance. Nobody knows about you. You're not popular. Even your brothers don't want you to fight Goliath because they are scared he's going to kill you. So take a swipe at the big boys. Like literally take a swipe at the big boys. It could be in your posts, point out what they're doing wrong, but they get away with it because they're popular, right? And then offer the correct way of doing things, right? And also, since you're a startup, I want to believe you have a level of experience in what you are offering, really, because nobody does a startup these days without having a level of experience at least. So if you have a level of experience, talk about it a lot. You want to make a lot of noise about your level of experience and show your expertise. Another thing that also works is to look for these big accounts. Again, apart from taking a swipe at them, look for these big accounts and big businesses and go through their posts and always be interacting in their content. The idea there is to get followers from them. So let's say, for instance, I'm a startup who wants to do a beauty formula. Now, for instance, I want to do a particular skincare routine or soap or something like that. A soap, for instance, now. Nobody knows about me. How do I win my target audience to me? So let's say, for instance, I'm targeting the same audience that the Dove brand is targeting. Now, Dove, they are known all over the world. Like, they're so massive. But how do I get their audience to my page? I go to Dove, I see their content, I interact, I leave valuable comments, I leave useful comments, I interact. Folks see my comments, they like, they check me out, and trickle by trickle, trickle by trickle, trickle by trickle, they start coming my way, right? Another way we could build your presence is to offer gifts. Offer gifts. Let's say, for instance, now you are a startup in the software space, you could offer free trials to your software. You could offer free trials for reviews. You could do discounts. I don't recommend that really, but then you are starting out, you just have to put your foot in the door. You could do discount, but before you ever do discounts, it's important to calculate to know how much it will impact your margins so that you are not in the red too often. But the idea is to put your foot in the door, because if you do discounting too much, people are going to mentally associate your brand as being a discount brand. So there are pros and cons to different ways to get online prominence, but we could go over this for hours really, but then if you follow these few methods, take the Goliath and David stance, attack the big boys, find relevant competitors and get followers from them through insightful comments, offer discounts, offer freebies, offer trials, then that can work. Yeah.
So how do you measure your success in all of these marketing efforts, whether as a brand that wants to gain visibility or as the digital marketer?
Okay, this question is very broad and very technical at the same time, because you don't just measure your success, it depends on your goals, right? You need to have a goal, you need to have a goal, then the signals that show if you are working towards your goals, and then the metrics. So I can't really give you a specific answer, except I know the goals of the brand or the goals of the marketer, and then I can say, okay, these are possible metrics you can use to measure if you are making an impact, positively or negatively. So like I said, it's a very broad topic and also technical at the same time. So I can't give you a specific answer, because to give you or to tell you how to measure, I need to know the goals you are measuring.
All right, let's look at the issue of technology. I would like you to talk about some of the tools, some of the software, that a digital marketer needs to be familiar with that will facilitate your marketing and then helping you to stay in business.
Okay, digital marketing is very broad, but at a very high level, cutting across the different verticals in digital marketing, Google Analytics, it's a very important tool, because all forms of marketing have a level of reporting, right? So you could use Google Analytics and related tools in the analytics space for reporting. So that's on a very high level. But then when we want to niche specifically into different categories of marketing, like as a content marketer, the tools I use every day are Grammarly to correct my grammar, Google Docs to write. I use Miro as a mind map. I use SEMrush or Ahrefs to track keywords. I check my Google Search Console to see how my traffic is doing, if it's fluctuating, if I have issues on my site. I also use tools like Ahrefs again to check if I have technical issues. So that is just for me as a content marketer. For someone who does media buying, for instance, obviously they use Facebook, the Facebook ad campaign builder and related tools, also the Facebook ad library to get ideas for ads they can run. For email marketers, there are several tools, several softwares for sending out emails. So you could use any of them. Check out the open rates, your click-through rates, check out your interactions, your engagements, go to the heat maps and score section of the page to see how people are interacting, how far they go with your content. So like I said, at a very high level, every business needs a form of reporting. So Google Analytics is pretty important. But when you begin to niche down into the several pillars that make up digital marketing, then there are specific tools across the spectrum, or there are specific tools that are for certain skills. Yeah.
All right, we've talked about the benefits of digital marketing. Let's look at the challenges. Are there challenges facing digital marketing?
Yeah. On a very high level, some of the challenges that face digital marketing are your boss not understanding what it is. Now, many businesses do digital marketing or they employ marketers, but they don't know what to expect. So many times, let's say a marketer wants to experiment with an idea or test out a channel or a content format, and then the boss doesn't understand, why should we do that? Like, why should we do that? And then the boss expects something from you, but at the same time, your boss is truncating you doing something that may help you achieve your KPI at the same time. So your business, your bosses not understanding what you are doing is a major bottleneck. Another challenge is how platforms are constantly evolving. Now, at a certain point, Twitter, which is now called X, favored a certain content format, right? And now, due to what Elon Musk has done on the platform, it favors other comments. Now, you go on Twitter, you are scrolling, you are seeing advertisements within threads. It wasn't there before. Now, at the time when Elon Musk was favoring the verified users, their content used to attract more interactions. Now, there's no special benefit of being verified apart from the payout and stuff like that. So there are these drawbacks. The platforms you are using will just change the algorithm to overnight, and then your efforts will just plummet. And then you now have to start learning the platform again, or looking for a platform, or moving your work from that platform to a different platform where your users are hanging out to drive engagement, leads, and pipeline. So these are two of the core issues with marketing: trends, evolving trends, platforms evolving, and then your boss is not understanding what you do. Yeah.
I would like you to talk about some of the digital marketing services or niche that are in vogue now. You know, at a point, email marketing was the order of the day. So I would like you to talk about some of these services that are in vogue now, that are trends now, for a newcomer to be able to understand what to do and how to, manage this space and business.
Okay, at the very top of the list, thanks to AI, is anything related to AI. Literally, I have a friend on LinkedIn. He was into content writing, right? So content writing, website management, flipping and stuff like that. Then when AI came around, he lost his clients, and so his business went into administration. But he said, since AI took me out of business, I need to learn the tool that took me out of business, right, and make money from it. Now, currently, he has started a new company and is making good bucks using AI to write content that ranks for his client. So being able to use AI at the top is at the top of the market, or is at the top of the marketing trends that folks who want to get into marketing should be aware of. And then we have content marketing. Actually, content marketing, it will be very difficult for that to go out of vogue because there will always be need for content. And then content marketing is not the same thing as content writing. No, not at all. Content writing is a section or a subset under content marketing. And then another thing in vogue is community building. The ability to build communities and run communities is also in vogue. There is podcasting. Being able to own a podcast, launch a podcast, grow your audience is in vogue. Now, what I see also in the foreign space a lot, because I have a lot of foreign friends and I interact with them, is owning your own newsletter. Is a form of owning a piece of the internet and building your audience apart from social media platforms. Because like I said in my last point, these platforms, they evolve, the algorithms change, and you could lose your reach and impact overnight. So if you own your audience outside these platforms, no matter what happens on the platform, you will always have an audience to fall back to and direct them to the new platform. So these are just some of the trends that I am seeing currently making waves in the digital marketing space.
All right, finally from me, what are the personal skills or attitudes that someone who wants to go into digital marketing should have? You mentioned different skills of digital marketing. You mentioned SEO, which is search engine optimization. It makes it sound like it's very techy.
Yep.
So what are those personal attributes that a digital marketer should have?
Okay, so those skills I mentioned are skills you can learn, but as a person who wants to learn digital marketing, the attitude is be open to learning. Now, if you're not open to learning, you cannot thrive, you won't succeed. It's not a course, it's just the way it is. Then the other skill is you have to be experimenting. Do not rest on your hours and say, okay, this current content format is working, so I've been able to act it. You have not acted, really. You have to always be experimenting. When you find what works, try something else on the side, so that when this one is going out, you have something to introduce. Really, so be open to learning, always be experimenting, and then find your tribe. Have a niche, people you are accountable to, people that keep you on your toes, people you learn from, mentors. You can't be an island here. If you try to be an island, you will suffer, because you need people who have done these things and who are like now offering consultant services or fractional services to carry you along, to teach you, mentor you, and show you the rope. So these are three things I'm doing, which I will advise anyone who wants to do digital marketing to do also.